Hi you guys, my name is Lexi and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing book haul number 2 because I had to split up this very large book haul into a couple days and a couple different, I think just 2 videos. If you missed my first one, I will go ahead and link it down below. Let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a long one. The first book that I picked up was Children of Blood and Bone, and this is by Tommy Adeyemi. I have been hearing nothing but good things about this book. I really wanted to pick it up. So this is about a girl named Zelly who lives in a place where magic once was free, but then under the tyranny of a new king, all of the magic has disappeared. And so I believe it's just her journey to try to bring back magic and potentially take down the king. That's all I know. Next, I picked up a couple middle grades. So the first middle grade I picked up was The Train to Impossible Places by P.G. Bell. So it says, a train that travels through impossible places, a boy trapped in a snow globe, and a girl who's about to go on the adventure of a lifetime. So this is all about a girl named Susie who does not know about this impossible train until it crashes through her living room and she decides to sneak on board. Once on board, she learns all about the impossible train and how it can go literally anywhere, from the bottom of the ocean to a place where there are lots of trolls to magical worlds. It delivers the mail to all of these different places. She eventually, I think, becomes like one of the main people who helps deliver the mail, and she gets into this huge adventure. So it just sounds really cute and I am so excited. Okay, the next middle grade that I picked up was The Lighthouse Between the Worlds, and this is by Melanie Crowder. I think that this sounds so charming. So this is about a boy named Griffin who actually works on this lighthouse with his father, and not a lot of people come through until one day a group of mysterious strangers comes by, and then Griffin's father is suddenly sucked into the lighthouse. It turns out that there is this whole lighthouse guild where the lighthouse actually protects against other places and other worlds and things, and Griffin becomes very entangled in this huge adventure as he starts to figure out the lighthouse guild and tries to save his father. I'm just really excited. This sounds super cute and I just can't wait. Next, I picked up a couple really beautiful editions of some classics just because the artwork was so beautiful. So the illustrations of these 3 books are all by a girl named Camila Rose Garcia, and I just felt like they were so badass looking and unique. So I picked up Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, and Cinderella, and let me show you the books. The artwork in the book itself is just so completely stunning. I absolutely love the covers of these. But then when you take off the dust jacket, the naked book is also a little bit like a work of art. Okay, so like here are the stepsisters reimagined. I think they look really cool. Okay, so that's Cinderella. Snow White is probably my favorite naked book. This is what it looks like naked. It's so pretty. And then Alice in Wonderland is just like a plain black cover with like gold. And then the spreads in it are really amazing. Okay, so like here's Alice at tea. I think this is so beautiful. I really appreciate illustrations. Sometimes I'll buy a book just for the cover or just for the illustrations because I just really appreciate them a lot. I think that they're kind of like artwork. Next, I finally picked up Vicious by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab. No, it's V.E. Schwab this time. Okay, I can't keep up. I have been hearing nothing but good things for years about these books. I initially kind of stayed away because I'm not that into superheroes, to be honest. When I heard that this was kind of about like superheroes, I was like, eh. But then I heard it was more about like super villains, and I was like, oh, because I love villains a lot. So this is actually about 2 people who started off as roommates, and their names are Victor and Eli, and they have a theory essentially that they can get powers if they get really close to death. But essentially they both get powers, and then they both do different things with their powers, and they have different morals. So it's just about their dynamics and about power struggles, villains, things like that. It sounds really good actually. So I'm really excited. excited. Next, I got a really, really pretty version of Peter Pan. I love Peter Pan. I collect Peter Pan books. I got this one and it is the pop-up version. I'm so excited. So here's like one of the pop-ups. Isn't that so amazing? Oh my God, I can't even. Oh, look at this one, look at this one. What? It's incredible. And the full text is in here as well. They just put them on the sides. I'm thrilled. I love Peter Pan so much. I've already gone through this like, I don't even know how many times. Already, it's like one of my new favorite books ever. And I'm definitely gonna display this because I'm a big Peter Pan nerd. I just love it. I'm on Team Neverland for the BookTube games. Okay. I decided that I need to read more Sarah J. Maas. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and I loved it so much. I had the second book, but I didn't have the third. So the first thing I did was I picked up the third book in the series so that I could go ahead and marathon it. And then I decided that I wanted to read her Throne of Glass series. These are not in the series order, but these are all the books in the series. I got Heir of Fire, The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and finally, Queen of Shadows. And this is her entire series out of order. Really, really, really excited to pick that up. Okay, the next one that I have is actually a young adult and it is Grim Lovelies and this is by Megan Shepherd. So this is a book about a girl named Anouk and Anouk is not technically a human. She is what they call a beastie and I think that's like where you're like an animal, human, or I don't know actually. All we know is that she's not human and that this takes place in Paris, but then one day her mistress is found in a cold blood murder, meaning she's dead, and Anouk is accused of the crime. And so now I think she has to clear her name and figure out who killed this lady and stuff. But listen, it's in Paris and I really, really desperately want to go to Paris. I know French, but it is so horrible and so not good and so not up to snuff. You know what's ironic is I've taken French. I took French 2 years in high school. Then I took it for 3 years in college and I still do the Duolingo stuff and I still have no clue what they're saying anytime I watch a foreign French film. So I think I just need to move to Paris for like 6 months and just learn it that way because it's The next one that I picked up is The Sisters of the Winter Wood, and this is by Rena Rosner. Ooh, nice name. This is a book that Rhiannon down at Crescent Moon Reads talks about all the time and she really, really likes. And honestly, I just picked it up because she loves it so much. So I've heard that this has some Jewish folklore, which I think is really, really fascinating. It's about two sisters named Liba and Leah, and the whole thing is very reminiscent of a fairy tale. One day, the two sisters find out that they have magical heritage that they were unaware of, and there is a dark force that is creeping into their village from the woods. I don't know a lot about this book. I'm going in pretty blind, but it's beautiful. It comes highly recommended, and I'm very, very excited. I say very excited all the time, don't I? I also say the word yay all the time. Next is a full box. Oh God, okay. All right, how did I get closer? All right, so next I have some manga and I have some graphic novels to share. Okay, let's go ahead and do manga first. So I picked up 3 different series, not full series, of manga. So the first one that I picked up was Orange, and this is by Ishigu Takano. Notice that I started to deflate because I realized that I don't know how to pronounce this. Everybody talks about this, especially if you are new to manga, which I completely am. I've actually never read a manga series. This book is about a girl named Naho who receives letters from her future self, and the letters are basically warning her to protect a new student who will become one of her good friends. She writes the letters off as a prank at first, and then slowly the letters start to come true, and so she is desperately trying to help save this boy in her class from something bad happening in the future. That's all I know. This is volume 1. There's only 2 volumes. It is quite chunky, which I like. The next book that I picked up was Death Note, and this is by, oh my God. I'm looking up Google Translate for this.
Tsugumio HBA.
What?
Tsugumio HBA.
Oh shit.
つぐみお HBA
And this is by,
つぐみお HBA
I don't know how to pronounce this. Google Translate is saying it's Sugumio. I'm gonna guess that you pronounce it okay. Sugumio, okay. And this is by this person. This is about a boy who, on his way home from school, discovers a notebook, and the notebook says Death Note on it. He writes it off as a prank and then slowly realizes that if you put a name in the Death Note, the person will absolutely die. I don't really know a lot about this, but the cover looks so badass and it sounds like really edgy and cool, so I'm really excited to read this. Okay, the last manga series that I picked up volumes 1 and 2 for this, is Deadman Wonderland, and this is by, I think it's Jinsei Katakoa. I hope that's right. I'm not really sure. But these are the editions. I really love that they're like this matte black and white. I think that looks so cool. I heard about the premise of this and I was like, yeah, I definitely need to read that because I love Alice in Wonderland and I love really creepy, weird stuff. So, well, I mean, within reason, I guess. So this manga series follows a boy who is in middle school who witnesses all of his classmates being brutally murdered, and he's essentially framed for it even though he didn't do it. And he is sent off to this prison, and it's essentially like a wonderland, but it's like a really demented, twisted wonderland, and there are lots of games where the prisoners have to like fight to the death or like try to find things in this prison that looks like a wonderland. It just sounds really cool and I'm really about it. I don't know if I'm nailing the premise exactly right, but that's what I've heard it's like, and yeah, I really can't wait to read this. I need to pick it up like immediately. So next we've got some graphic novels. So one of my best friends here, Jade, she has a booktube channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and link her down below. She actually got me volume 5, I believe, from Saga because I had volumes 1 through 4 and I had read 1 through 4 and then that was it. And so she bought me the 5th one and I took the opportunity to say, well, listen, Jade is basically saying to finish the series. So then I got volume 6, volume, is this 7? 7, these are in order. Volume 8 and volume 9. So if you have not read Saga, I highly recommend it because it is an impeccable series and I absolutely love it. Obviously I'm only on volume 4, however, what I have read has been just incredible. It's essentially this epic space opera. There is a planet. The planet's people are in a war with the planet's moon's people, and they have hated each other since anybody could remember, and 2 people actually end up falling in love from those planets, and they have a little baby girl who is narrating the entire series. These are written by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and I absolutely love this series. I highly recommend it. Next is a graphic novel that I picked up kind of on a whim, and I picked it up because I was just obsessed with the artwork style, and it is called The Family Trade. So in this world, alchemy exists, and this world is actually on a little bit of an island. And on the float is a family, and the family is a family of thieves, conmen, and assassins, and they have one goal, and that goal is to keep the float going, or afloat. That's all I know. Super vague. I didn't actually buy it for the synopsis. I bought it because I opened it and I was obsessed with the artwork. Like I said earlier, I love beautiful artwork. And it just makes me really happy. It looks like watercolor. That's like the medium that I'm most familiar and comfortable with when I paint myself. Oh, I just love it. It looks beautiful. So I'm really excited to see what this is all about. We literally have a full box. I'm so excited for all these. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is Summer of Salt, and this is by Katrina Leno. And oh my God, this sounds like everything I've ever wanted in a book ever. I cannot. So this is about a girl who lives by the sea, and her family has all of these magical abilities, and she has been waiting for magic to show up in her own life for a very long time. And near her 18th birthday, she is thinking that it will probably never come. So this is about her journey. This is about magic, her town. This is about when a tragic event strikes her, and it's also about her relationship with this other person right here, who is a girl. So we've got magic, we've got a story by the ocean, we've got a female-female relationship. This sounds really cool. I can't wait to read this. The next book that I am reading or planning on reading, and I am hauling today, is Hurricane Child. So this is by Karen Challender, and I am so excited. The cover is just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm really interested to read about this because this is an LGBT book for middle grade, which you don't really see a lot of, I think. It's about a girl named Carolyn Murphy, and she was born during a hurricane. She's essentially bullied and ostracized by all of the children where she lives at her school until one day a new student comes and she develops a little bit of a crush on her. And I've also heard that the story itself is like very whimsical. And I have also heard that there are touches of magical realism in this, but don't quote me on the last one because I actually don't know. Sounds really beautiful, and it's been getting rave reviews, so I can't wait. The next one that I have is Neverworld Wake, and this is by Marisha Pessel. So this just sounds so incredibly unique. It's about a girl named Beatrice whose boyfriend dies, unfortunately. She goes back to reunite with some of her friends. During the night, there is a thunderstorm that happens, and the next day a man knocks on their door and says that time has become stuck until they can make some serious decisions. It's about her revisiting the past. It's got magical elements, magical realism elements, obviously. It sounds really, really cool. It sounds dark, and it sounds just so creative and inventive. We only have like a lot more left. Okay, next, so I actually have the first book. Everyone and their mama always talks about Cassandra Clare. Everybody on BookTube has read her. I have not. I never read Cassandra Clare. I know, blasphemy. I picked up her first book a while ago from the Infernal Devices, but I haven't read it. And so I've just made the decision, just like with Sarah J. Maas, that I am also going to read the entirety of the Infernal Devices and kind of see what I want to do from there. So the first book I already had, but I went ahead and I got the second book as well as the third book in this series. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not even really going to attempt a good synopsis because I don't know anything about this world, and so many people know so much about it that I don't wanna mess it up. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, the next one that I got is by Claire Legrand, and this is Sawkill Girls. This book is about a group of girls who live in a place where there are rumors of a monster that lives in the dark woods. I guess the monster snatches up girls, and girls have been disappearing, and no one has dared to fight this darkness until now. I've also heard that this is a book about girls loving other girls, about female friendships, about empowerment. Just sounds really, really good. Yeah. So next I picked up another one by Claire Legrand, and this one is Some Kind of Happiness. I absolutely love the cover. She's gotten really lucky because she's gotten really excellent cover design artists, like well done her and well done her team. This is about a girl who is having a lot of problems at home with her parents. Her parents are technically fighting all the time, and I believe that she thinks that her parents are possibly going to get a divorce. They send her off to live for the summer with her grandparents, and while she is there, she decides to write about this magical place, this magical world. And this magical world is really the only thing that is helping her to deal with all of her emotions and what she is going through. And I believe that the world comes to life, that she discovers the world somehow. Don't quote me on that, but what really got me interested in this is that it is dealing with all of her feelings and showing like little bits of depression and little bits of unhappiness, but from her perspective. And I think that's really important because I don't know if that's talked about enough in middle grade. So I'm really, really excited. It sounds beautiful. The next one is The Light Between Worlds. This is by Laura Weymouth. This is about two girls who escape from London, England when the war is going on into this mythical wood between the worlds. And then they come back and no time has passed at all. One of them wants to go back to the woodland no matter what, and the other one just wants to put it behind her and move on. What it sounds like is it sounds a little bit like a cross between like Narnia and Shauna Maguire's Every Heart a Doorway series. I just think that the concept is an interesting concept to explore, and I'm glad that more authors are delving into the world of what happens when the children come back. Can you believe it? Only 3 books left. Wow. The next book that I have here is Queens of Geek, and this is by Jen Wild. So this book is about a girl who I think she's on YouTube. I think she's a YouTuber actually, and she wants to be an actress, and she goes to this big convention. And at this convention, she meets her longtime crush, who I think she's an actress. Is that right? It's a female-female relationship, but I think that there's like a couple different parallel stories because there's also a girl named Taylor. Taylor is in love with her best friend Jamie, although I don't think he knows. I think it parallels Taylor's relationship with Jamie at this convention, and then also this budding YouTube star who is in love with someone who is famous, or I think she has a crush on a girl who is famous, and they get to meet in person, and I don't know, maybe stuff happens, I don't know. So next I have got The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Meadowstone, and this is by Jacqueline Moriarty. The cover maybe wins the best cover award. I don't know, look at it. Oh, there's like dragons and stuff. Stop. Bronte is 10 years old when she receives the telegram that her parents have been killed by pirates. She lives with her aunts, and her aunts sound pretty damn cool if I do say so myself. Her parents leave very, very detailed instructions for her to do something in their will or terrible things will happen. And so it sends her on this huge quest and this huge adventure, and it just sounds really, really cute. Lots of magic, lots of fun stuff. Can't wait to read it. I love middle grade with all of my heart. And finally, the very last book that I have purchased is In an Absent Dream, and this is by Shauna Maguire, and I have to tell you, I absolutely love this series. So if you don't know what the series is about, the series starts with a book called Every Heart a Doorway. It is a book series about children who went off to different worlds like Neverland, and then when they come back, they are aged, but in their 12-year-old body. They have to live as an 8-year-old, even though they have lived an entire lifetime sometimes as an adult in a different fantasy world. This leaves the children psychologically damaged. They don't really understand why they were kicked out of their world. They want to go back. They see themselves more as a part of that world than this world. And then when those kids come back, they are sent to a private school, and the private school essentially is for other kids who have gone into different realities and then come back as well. And this is just another exploration of that. I believe that the principal of the private school, I think that this is her tale. Very excited. I absolutely love these books, and I can't wait to read this. Okay, you guys, I think that's it. If you have recently hauled or bought anything or read anything that you think sounds like my taste, please let me know down in the comments, because I am always down to check out a new book. I absolutely love you guys so much. You are the best people in the entire world. I have the best friends ever on YouTube, and I just feel so incredibly lucky. So again, thank you very much for watching my very lengthy book haul. Until next time, you guys, please keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book. And I will talk to you later. Bye!